All right, kitty. Don't do something like fall asleep on the cat tree. You hear me? Are you in there? There's your little toy. Have a good day. Let's see another Stephen King style church cat. The gray cats. That one looks a little, well, not as bad as when he came back from the grave. Hey, church. There's a whole slew of cats right here on 76. They come and go. Stray cat town. The River District. All right, it is a Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, 5:21 p.m. We're dealing with, wow, a temperature change, 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Must be a distant storm. I'm gonna go ahead and reset the trip. I would say it's probably closer to 84, 85 degrees. It's usually a little bit hotter in the car, but it's more exact when it's around the 80s. So we'll find out. I'll check on WeatherBug. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. There's Kitty, the critter. He's a mirror critter from the species of mirror critters. And he's just hanging there. He has a very general name, Critter. And this is when you get to watch me pick up food from a restaurant or a quick establishment. Very rarely do I do food trucks. When I did Grubhub, they did a lot of food trucks. Oh look, bug. Slug bug time. Barely can see it. Hang on. There you go. Now you can see it. Little slug bug. Took some advice from Joseph Kaczynski, the guy that directed F1. He's got a really good Criterion Collection pick. One of them was Breathless, but I looked at La Samurai and was like, wow, first 12 minutes, totally, you know, hooked into that film. I may end up talking about it. Jean-Pierre Melville is the director. It looks like a really good film. It's a French film from 1967, French in Italy. And it's listed on the Criterion channel, which I'm doing a collection myself, meaning it's kind of like I find the filmmaker or the actor, talk about it, and then I basically post it on my Facebook and then make note of it, and it ends up on this channel, the Please Subscribe show. I'm your host, Cole Spivey. I do talk about cinema, and I slowly, very slowly work on a novel. I did work on it a little bit last night. It's chapter 82 of a novel. I'm just gonna call it Rib for now. All right, the whole working title is Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, dash, Shepherds of Alaska. Yes, there's a dash in there. The Shepherds of Alaska is kind of like a surreal cop drama, very much on the noir state. Not as crazy as Alphaville, that's Jean-Luc Godard. But it's kind of a surreal thing. And people are making comments on my fan fiction under my pseudonym, Ash Cole. I like to call it a pen name. The old school way of saying like a hidden name. All right, looks like we got two of them from Papa John's. Here we go with Papa John's. 5:27 arrival, 1 minute, 0.5 miles. So we're gonna pick up this pizza, and then we're going to drop it off at your doorstep. That's what I do for right now. I'm Cole Spivey. It's my channel, my YouTube channel. Welcome. I don't know. There's this distant dream inside of me that wants to make a cinematic movie. Not that this is anti-cinematic or anything. I don't know. It's very difficult to do because it takes a lot of planning, and you usually have to pay the actors so they show up, and then you give them catering. and that doesn't have to be anything special, but it's very hard to do. I've attempted a few of them. Anyway, we'll talk about all that. All right, so my background, it comes from Fort Worth. This is where I found the theater at W.E. Scott Theater, and I did a lot of plays at Pascal High School when I was in high school. Went to Texas Wesleyan, graduated from University of North Texas in theater arts. Then I ran off to basically Hollywood. I lived in Long Beach, and I studied with Diane Salinger. She worked with the Pee-wee's Big Adventure people. Come on, kitty. She had a cat named George, and she lived with a guy named Tom Noble who edited movies like Red Dawn and won an Oscar for Witness. Those are two different movies. I ended up at the Actors Studio in New York. So I went there for about a year, experienced 9/11, and then after the end of that year in 2002, towards summertime, I came back to Texas, and I've been here for quite a bit of time, 20-something years. But I went to Maine for about 17 months, and I wrote a book called Escape from Maine. Came back here, met my second wife, and then had children. And now we're no longer together. I met Linda in 2020, and we started a band for a little while called the Linda and Cole Band because of COVID. It was a COVID band. We don't really play that much anymore. The vlog kind of just developed on its own. Coming out of COVID, I went through COVID. My sister was a nurse. She's no longer around. She passed away about 4 months ago. I don't know. There's a lot to me. I do like to tell stories. Ultimately, I would say this is a really cool shot. This West 7th shot. I am kind of a cinephile in the fact that I like movies and cinematic masterpieces, and I'm just fascinated on how they create it, how it all happens. I do like watching vlogs. One of my favorite vloggers is Adam the Woo. You probably know that. Papa John's. I just like the fact of how he just throws it all together. I know he's a master at it. I like a lot of vloggers, actually. But this one, look, Fred Astaire. I've had some heel pain, but it's getting better because I got, I'm not going to go in through the therapy that I'm going through right now until it gets better, and I'll tell you how. Once it really starts to get better, I'll tell you how it happens. But I do some stretching and things like that. I don't know if it's Baxter nerve or plantar fasciitis, but I was wearing a sandal for, I think, 3 or 4 vlogs, 3 or 4 days, because I had a blister from an ankle brace I was wearing, which is the wrong thing. I found the right device to wear certain times for like therapy. Hopefully it'll get better. I've had the heel pain for about 4 months now, since my sister passed. It's very strange. It started happening around that time. Anyway, I'll talk about everything later. Okay, now I gotta pick up this pizza. All right, we have 2 deliveries from Papa John's. Here goes the first one. 5:41 arrival, 3 minutes, 0.8 mile. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, that this is connected to Tesla. They're remodeling. It is connected to Tesla. That's one of the contractors. Construction. Because they're going to branch off from Tesla over there. That's where the warehouse is. Alright, off to the next one. I'll log that one as well. All right, second Papa John's delivery on its way. 6:01 arrival, 13 minutes, 3.4 miles. This is a historic house right here. Historic district area. They actually have old telephone cables that are up there from like the turn of the century. They're still there. Those don't have hill backings, do they? Maybe they're just temporarily thrown out on the street. No, they do. I'm gonna move them over here. It's like a running shoe. They were probably being thrown up on the telephone wire. Not that that makes much of a difference. I thought the heels were missing on them. That's why it was interesting. All right. Got one at Zap Kitchen on our way. 6:15 arrival. 5 minutes, 1.6 miles. So there's the tower. Down this way leads to the zoo. The Fort Worth Zoo. Some say it's the best zoo in the nation. I don't think it's the biggest zoo, but it is well kept and it's very charming. And they have tigers and lions too. The lions left for a little while and then they brought them back. And believe it or not, my son David and I got to see one of the white lions from Africa. In this zoo right here, Fort Worth Zoo. I was in high school. I used to go there and make out with a girlfriend of mine. Until a security guy with these big, thick Coke bottle glasses knocked on the window. Hey, what are y'all doing? It's all steamy. We're doing zoology homework. There goes a squirrel. Go for it. Oh no, he's going the other way. Well, that's okay. That'll work too. Made it to the other side. Now all the squirrels along this road right here, they don't make it. Yeah, they end up on the dead frequency. Quoting Brian De Palma's Sean Penn's line in Casualties of War. This is with squirrels rather than Vietnam vets. We're gonna be approaching an iguana here pretty soon. I'm really not supposed to do that long of a vlog today, so we're gonna have to keep it short. But I'm in a vloggy mood and it's not always there. and sometimes it is, and it's not always a good thing. That's okay. We're hanging on. All right, iguana coming up on the left, and then we got to go to Zap's kitchen and make all this stuff quick. I'm gonna pray that you pray with me. Iguana, right there, probably made by some TCU art students and left up there. It's probably made out of stone. That thing lasts all through all the winters and everything. All right, cutting here. One more thing, Bubba Woods Park, right over there. You ever seen a movie called Being Flint with Robert De Niro? Talks about those things in the wintertime. It's kind of a horror film a little bit. Well, not really, it's a drama, but it's kind of like a horror a little bit. It's more of a drama. For a writer, it's a horror. Keeps a novel in his oven. It's got Paul Dano in it, it's pretty good. Alright, Zap Kitchen, I found it. This stretch really does help right here. So it hangs off the curb. Gets it out of its knot, like heel. Alright, the Zap's kitchen is on its way. 6:45 arrival, 21 minutes, 9.2 miles.
The phrase, "be careful for nothing," is from Philippians 4:6, a Bible verse that encourages believers to not be anxious, but instead to pray about everything. It doesn't mean to be reckless, but rather to trust God with concerns and seek His guidance through prayer.
Alright, listening to Amazing Grace, choir version of it. Poem originally written by John Newton, and then became a protest song for Protestants. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now can see. It's got several different verses. That's the one they usually go with on the opening. I actually played John Newton a couple of times. Once in Dallas at the Brownlee Theater, and then once in Austin at a church in Austin. We did a play called A Wretch Like Me. It's changed later to Amazing Grace. All right, let's see what St. Paul Lutheran's Church is talking about today. Do justice and love. Can't see the bottom part of it though. All right, listening to Amazing Grace. It's a choir version of it. Poem originally written by John Newton, and became a protest song for Protestants. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now can see. It's got several different verses. That's the one they usually go with on the opening. I actually played John Newton a couple of times. Once in Dallas at the Brownlee Theater, and then once in Austin at a church in Austin. We did a play called A Wretch Like Me. It's changed later to Amazing Grace. All right, let's see what St. Paul Lutheran's Church is talking about today. Do justice and love. Can't see the bottom part of it though. I'll have to reread that one. The other one, I believe, is in Psalms. It talks about God giving strength to his people. It's on St. Paul's on the other side. I was reading today. I read the Bible today. I read Philippians 4:6. The passage about be anxious for nothing, but in everything. Be careful in nothing, but cast your request upon the Lord with prayer and supplication, and with thanksgiving. It basically talks about how petition is also supplication. Supplication is petition. It's like giving your request in a humble way to the Lord and asking with thanksgiving. What Philippians 4:6 is talking about is be anxious in nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication. And let your requests be known unto God with thanksgiving. And then later it would say that his understanding surpasses all. And there's peace in knowing that God understands and he knows. And it's kind of a let go, let God thing. It's Philippians 4:6. It's a good one. I'll try to remember to read it. And then the next passage, which Philippians 4:7, talks about God's understanding, how it surpasses all things. And that there's peace in knowing that through Jesus Christ. I believe my step-grandfather, Wayne, was buried here. I went to the funeral. He was a janitor at the University of Texas at Arlington. Very quiet person. Didn't talk a whole lot. Doesn't look like a big hotel from the outside. Actually a pretty big hotel. They got 6 floors. Alright, got one at CircleK Thai restaurant. 7:09 arrival, 7 minutes, 3.4 miles. CircleK Thai Lao restaurant. Thai food. Alright, CircleK Thai cuisine. It's near Halton. Alright, this CircleK Thai Lao cuisine on its way. 7:17 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.3. I believe it's called Mount Olivet. It's connected to the Greenwood Memorial. I think I have a couple of relatives buried there. I got one for $6.25 in the area for Faux Grill. 7:32 arrival, 5 minutes, 1.9 miles. A1 Pho and Grill is on its way, also known as Pho, A1 Pho and Grill. Arrival time is 7:49, 10 minutes, 6.6. We turn right on Cooper Street. I went at Torchy's Tacos. We're on our way. 8:00. Well, it thinks I arrived. It's like it's right past that Garden Inn right there. Got another one at Torchy Tacos. 8:03 arrival. 1 minute, 0.1 mile. That's like a double theme. Torchy Tacos. Here we go with Torchy Tacos. The other side of Fort Worth. It's gonna be 8:25 arrival, 13 minutes, 12 miles. Saw another man next to a bus stop in Medical District. He's probably in his 70s. I didn't have time to video it, but he looked like he was just kind of laying on the side where the bus stop was in hospital garb. So he'd been released from the hospital. I don't know if he was waiting on the bus. It didn't look good. And just please say a prayer for him. I want to say that is 8th Street, right before you get to CVS, right before you get to the big jumbo screens where the Medical District is. He's just laying there on his side. Doesn't look good. St. Paul Lutheran's Church. Probably the same message as before. Yep. Nope. He must increase, but I must decrease. John 3:30. I'm gonna look at that. John 3:30. All right, picked that little 550 at Whataburger. Pick it up. Arrival 8:50. 3 minutes, 1.1 miles. All right, got one at Whataburger, and then a little add-on for $2 at Taco Bell. So about $8 for both. this one. Go to Taco Bell and pick that one up. Learn that from a mime. It might help in the long run. All right, looks like that order was already picked up, so you can unassign it without pay and move on, thank goodness. Probably when I was in a Whataburger. Right, this Whataburger, I guess someone else picked up the Taco Bell, but oh well. The Whataburger is still going out. 9:05 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.4. Just picked up a McDonald's, about 20 feet. Be there right now. $5 meal. Go for flaky and tangy. So she's saying that when someone already picks it up, it could be the fact that they have to call and say that they already picked it up or something like that. I don't know the reason behind it, but there's an option where you just put already picked up and then unassigned without pay, and another one just came in immediately. So I don't know if it's a glitch. She thinks it might be. I don't really know, but it does happen, and it's just something that's common that happens. You just unassign without pay, and then usually another one will come in. Another one came in and they're making that one. So I don't know the reason behind it. She said, well, they have to cancel it. Well, obviously you have to do that to move forward, if they've already picked it up. But they said it was like hours ago. So it sounds like it could be a glitch in their system that they're working on. But it's not just McDonald's. It happens with a lot of them. I don't really give out the name of the platform I'm working for, but I've worked for most all of them. So anyway, I just called the Big D. All right, looks like this McDonald's is on its way. 9:32, 7 minutes, 2.7. Here we go with Chiba Hut Toasted Subs on our way to pick it up. 9:44 arrival, 3 minutes, 0.8 EVS. This is 8th Avenue, so Chiba Hut Toasted Subs is right under WABI House, known as Wabi House. Which looks like a pretty cool place. The Wabi House is pretty cool. It's got drinks and, like a little bar. And then right next to it is where you get like ramen noodle or whatever. I don't think it's extremely pricey, but that's Wabi House. And that's Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, which I haven't been to yet. Like a toasted sub place. Oh yeah, they got a bull on the wall, all kinds of stuff. All right, this Chiba Hut toasted sandwich is on its way. 9:56, 5 minutes, 1.9. These halls are extremely wide. slow-moving tree. About to go underneath it. Train, go away, come back some other day. Train, go away, come back some other day. That's how it is working in Blue Mound. If you do this type of work, food delivery in Blue Mound, you got to deal with that train big time. These, they seem to go under or over. Right, I got one at Kava on my way. We'll arrive at 10:22, 1 minute, 0.3 miles. Chipotle's version of Mediterranean. They do like spicy lamb. All right, this Kava is on its way. 10:38, 10 minutes, 4.1 miles. I was thinking about the threesome, which is the actor, the director, and the writer. And I think Matt Damon right now and Christopher Nolan are dealing with the Iliad and the Odyssey, which is more than 2,000 years old text. It still needs to be interpreted today. The playwright's like internal in a way, or the writer. Then the director is usually alive in most cases, and almost every case. And then the actor has to be alive. The playwright still sometimes can be there too. You know, the writer can be there too, and they're all working together to tell a story. One uses words, the other uses interpretation, and the other uses their body and their mind and their spirit and their soul. That'd be the actor. Sometimes it starts with the actor because of the thirst of wanting to be seen and understood. Then the director interprets that as well as interpreting the text. And they'll work together to reveal a play or a show or a vlog or a screenplay or whatever it may be. The vlogger is immediate theater. It's happening right now. Then you see it maybe a day, it's hours later, sometimes a few days later, sometimes, well, according to YouTube, it could be however long YouTube has been around, you know, more than a decade. I started in 2010, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. It looks like we found an Insomnia cookies. We're going to pick it up. We'll arrive at 10:50, arrival 3 minutes, 0.4. Cookie dough. Not a phase, it's forever. Cookies and Cream is back for good. Alright, this $8 Insomnia cookies pickup is now going to be delivered. We're on our way. 11:08 arrival, 13 minutes, 8.1 miles. This is known as Bertha. I don't know if they still have their name, badge, smart checkout. Yep, I think that's right. I also select gasoline too, as long as you're in the pump. Yeah, you just pay with Bertha right there. You can buy gas. The 7-Eleven in Dallas. That's similar, but you pay on the app. I've only been by there once a long time ago when I was working for Uber. But it's a scan and go, so you pay everything on the app. You just go in, they have these clear plastic bags.
This airline employee takes customer service to new heights. After finding an old stack of handwritten letters left on the plane.
Still counting calories. I thought I'd cut the peanuts because the peanuts were like 460 calories. These are kind of hard to find though. If you kind of open them, you can kind of see it's about 100 calories a stick. So, and it's beef, original beef meat snack. $2.19 for 5 grams of protein. All right, I just got, when I was on the highway, my suggestion to you, when you get on the highway, make the first exit before you get situated. It's usually right. And I was right on this one. BJ's restaurant is right here, the Hewlett Mall area. So I made the exit as soon as I got it. Then I situated and find out, you know, what it was and everything. If you can hit the direction quick enough, you know, you could do that as well. But I'm dealing with this lightning cord and an iPhone 11 right here. Yeah, lightning cord, iPhone 11. So you know how sketchy that is. All right, here we go with BJ's. 12:10 arrival, 14 minutes, 8 miles. All right, dropping some ice cream off from BJ's at the correction facility. Usually it's just a table. Just drop it off at the delivery table. Most likely it's for one of the jailers. We'll do one more after this, and then we'll head in and feed Kitty. There's Burnett Plaza building. Bring in the ice cream and the strawberry drink and whatever else they got to the old correctional centers from BJ's. Hope they didn't put a file in it. You know, that probably means a lot of things, a file. You know those files? Like, you know, in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the file and the Coney dog. Receptionist took off. I got a drop right here. Cool, hanging work lights right there. All right, found one at 7-Eleven, $7 for 7-Eleven. Here we go, 12:27, 7 minutes, 3.4. Seems like a lot of sevens. As of midnight, I found one that expired. So I got this one, no charge. As long as you go by about around midnight. Right now it's about, oh, my camera's on. Ugh. They throw them out anyway. You just have to tell the clerk and they scan them out for inventory. So it's basically, there's no such thing as a free lunch, I know that. But it's only 30 minutes expired. Sorry, that's Joy Division. So as of, well, let's do it again. So the date on it says the 20th. And you can see it's the 21st, so they usually throw them out. 30 minutes expired. Trump is staying on top of the medical field there. I saw another guy who looked like he's about 70 slipping by a bus stop. I'm not blaming him, not blaming anybody. I know he's trying to help. Drop this one off and call it for the night. Well, the president always gets blamed for that kind of stuff, and that always will be going on usually until the end of time. There's just a little desk right here at this emergency room drop. We're dealing with about 390. Yeah. I've only had so far, I think, maybe 700 calories. So I'd bring it to roughly a little over 1,000. Yeah, I might want to snack on this chicken salad sandwich from 7-Eleven. They really do a good job on their sandwiches, as opposed to other. I like them better than QT. Let's just put it that way. And Racetrack. Although Racetrack is probably better than QT on sandwiches. QT needs to work on the sandwiches. These are pretty tasty. They're new and improved sandwiches. Fire station park skaters. All right. So, just want to say a few things. Gotta go back to Feed Kitty. The future will change. We're not always going to see Fort Worth on the vlog, but I don't want to give out any destination points of where I may end up right now. But I do have California on the horizon, but it's not going to be that easy. So I'm not going to just go out. California is extremely expensive when it comes to real estate. So it's going to be some moving around on the map a little bit. Plus, I'm kind of a writer, and we get moved around a lot. I don't understand the whole thing about it. I don't want to make this a long monologue. I love to act. I love cinema. I'm actually going to try to watch a movie tonight. I'm going to try to watch Le Samurai, which is the Melville guy. Jean-Pierre Melville, French. Came out in 1967. It looks like a really good one. That's all I wanted to say. I'm just going to hint until I know it's good, and then we'll talk about where we end up in the future. It's a long vlog. I think it's kind of a cool thing. This started off kind of in Carrollton, Texas. But I am hinting in the future there'd be a change of scenery. Okay, but I don't want to say where I'm going to be going yet. And then the California thing may only be like a trip. A few trips that I take. They could be months-long stays. I do plan to audition. I do have actor friends out there. I have a filmmaker friend that's out there. I think it would be wise for me to audition. I do love acting. I love writing. I probably would have to go through the acting route before I get to the writing route, when it comes to a screenplay. I feel confident that if you said, hey, Cole, write me up a screenplay, I could do it. A lot of people can. But here's the thing about script to screen, and Matthew McConaughey teaches it out at UT Austin. It's about knowing what it looks like on paper, and then how that's going to arrive on the silver screen, and that takes practice. That's why Taylor Sheridan is so good at it. He used to be almost like a soap opera actor almost. He was like a working day actor out in Hollywood for many, many years. He's held many scripts in his hands before he wrote Hell or High Water or Sicario. He's doing Madison. He was filming right over that way. He's doing Landman in the area right now with Billy Bob Thornton. But he knew what it looked like on the paper, and then how that was going to transform onto the movie screen. That you can only learn that by doing it. So as an actor, you do, and then you do. And then you start to learn, okay, I don't need to write this close-up shot here because that's probably going to change, that kind of thing. That's why Grace, aka Ware Vlog, I've sent it to Hollywood actors. They're like, very wordy, Cole, very wordy. That's because I'm kind of a novelist, excuse me. What I end up, I don't know. My dream when I was younger, when I was 27, and I went out there, movie star, right? Actor. I probably would have ended up doing that if I stayed, but I met James Lipton from the Inside the Actor Studio. And I guess I'm going to say he got me a little sidetracked, but then again, I met a lot of movie stars when I went out to Hollywood. When I went out to New York. Actually, when I went out to New York, I did, because they interviewed with James Lipton, and we got to see all that. I don't know. I think it's probably my thing, but it's taken me forever, so there's a good chance I could end up a filmmaker. We'd have to find out. A filmmaker is something I think you kind of ask to become. You can do it. This is a vlog. You can do it, but you eventually, or at least let's just put it this way, you're given it. Okay, it's something that's given to you. I don't know necessarily if they always ask. They do sometimes ask. Wes Anderson asked, and he got Bottle Rocket approved. So it is sometimes where it's approved. Here's your money. Go after it. You know, that takes, it takes time, and you meet the right people, and then you present a script, or you present a short film. Short film, yes, on the horizon. That I would achieve, or that I would try to do. And going out there and getting on Backpage, and then enlisting a bunch of actors and trying to do the short film, that gets you activated. You got to get a good camera, blah, 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 So we'll have to see. But it's not going to be a straight shot to California. Not for sure. No way on that. Not a straight shot, no. It's going to go in a different direction. I'm just not telling you which way it's going to go anytime soon. But a year and a half from now, you'll see. Okay? It's a slow process, this whole thing is. And you know what? Life is worth living when you have big dreams on the horizon. All right. Good night. That was a little too long. It's about 5 minutes. Okay, good. All right. Cut here. Go feed Kitty. This one is for the outdoor kitties. That one's named Amy. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty, 9 lives, and each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. And swirl the cat food. And pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having chicken Alfredo sauce entree. Perfect portion sizes.
What do you think, Kitty? Shall we try it? Wonder what tomorrow's kitty will be. Here we go. I can get myself a yellow hat or something. Here we go. The perfect and for me, I'll be having this 30-minute, about an hour expired chicken salad sandwich with leftover chicken in the fridge. Good night, Kitty. Good night, y'all. I'll redo that.
Dangerously close to the East Coast. First, that monster hurricane following the East Coast with massive waves life-threatening wind currents. Mandatory evacuations underway. Beachfront property owners holding their